Tuesday, December 3rd edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here along with you. Here's a look back at our highs yesterday for Monday. We hit a high of 59 in Greensboro, 60 Raleigh and Fayetteville, 61 in Charlotte, 62 in Columbia. And this morning, it's warmer the further south you go. Columbia, in fact, at 50. Charlotte not far below that at 48. But some 30s from Greensboro and Fayetteville, even Wilmington at points north and east. And we do have a warm front down over parts of the deep south, lifting northward. Mountains are really not too chilly this morning. A lot of 40s, some 30s, certainly in northwestern parts of North Carolina this morning. Radar showing you a few sprinkles moving into parts of the southern Piedmont and the upstate, and a few rain showers involved as well. And as I mentioned, that is associated with a warm front that's located across Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. That's going to be lifting to the northeast and will bring the chance of a few showers or areas of light rain to parts of the Carolinas today and especially on into tonight. Some snow, parts of Wisconsin and Michigan, Minnesota, back into South Dakota and the Rockies. That's where our next cold front is beginning to take shape. Check out the milder air, though, located off to the southwest of us. These are 5 a.m. Eastern time temperatures, and that warmer air is heading our way. I think a lot of us topping 70 for highs later on this week before it turns much colder again over the weekend. So there's that warm front lifting to the north. That'll give us the chance of some showers over the next 24 hours. And really, even tomorrow and on into Thursday, there's the chance of a passing shower here and there. But the bigger story through the rest of the work week will be the warmer air moving on in, and that's a big ice storm gearing up for parts of the Ozarks and the Mississippi Valley, parts of the southern plain states as well later this week. Rain totals around here not terribly significant, maybe a half inch in a few lucky spots in Georgia or South Carolina, most of us well shy of that. And here comes the warmer air. Again, by the time we get to Friday, look at those 70s for highs, and I think a lot of us probably in the low 70s for highs by Thursday afternoon as well. So that warmer air is on the way. But then, of course, the weekend, things change. We're going to have a cold front move through. Temperatures probably falling in many Carolina locations throughout the day Saturday with some showers around. And then we get a pretty good example of cold air damming as we get into Sunday. High pressure over the northeast, although it is transient in nature, that high pressure building down the eastern side of the mountains. And the result is a very cold day, and we do have some precipitation around, so maybe some ice potential. I'll show you more on that here in just a quick second when I get into the more detailed modeling. Just wanted to show you this very quickly. Ski resort areas, many of them open for business with some pretty good conditions out there. And if you want to hit the slopes, they're waiting for you up there in the high country. All right, on to more of the modeling now. So here's what it looks like today on the European upper air chart. This is the beginnings of our next system out west. We go out to 84 hours, and here's the setup. You have one of those deals where you have a broad southwest flow aloft here across much of the eastern part of the country. Now, as we go through Thursday and Friday, that's going to result in some very warm temperatures, as I've been highlighting for you. But in time, Arctic air will begin to try to slip in from the north, and that'll take place over the course of the weekend. So let's take a look at what this looks like at the surface on the European model. Here we are at 72 hours. So this is Thursday evening. We're warm and dry. Friday we stay warm and dry, but here's Saturday morning. And one of the key features to note here is that 1044 millibar high. There it is. And your cold front moving through, already northerly winds Saturday morning through parts of North Carolina. Now you go out to 132 hours. This is Sunday morning. That high pressure, a 1036 millibar high on the European at that point in time, centered right about there. And that is in a very good position for cold air damming. 144 hours, still a very strong indication of cold air damming with the high slowly retreating further to the northeast. But notice at 0Z Monday, that's Sunday evening, that high pressure still centered over the northeastern parts of the United States. Now let me compare that with I don't think I stuck that chart in here, but the bottom line is the GFS, at least with the 0Z run. I had not seen the 6Z yet, but with the 0Z run, the high was further to the north and retreated quicker, so you did not have as pronounced of a cold air damming episode. The Canadian model is really very similar. That's the Canadian for Sunday evening. High pressure still centered over parts of the northeast, although it is beginning to slip into Canada, but that's a very, very good indication of cold air damming. And there's your surface temperatures on the Canadian chart. I know that may be tough to see, but this is valid at 0 Monday, so Sunday evening. And that solid white line, that is your surface freezing line. Now, what does that look like on the European? Well, it looks very similar, although, again, a little bit further to the north, but the indication of cold air damming is definitively there. Now, on the GFS, rather, it's much, much different. That freezing line way far to the north. Now, the GFS could be sniffing out a trend. And certainly that high pressure, let me go back to this chart right here. That high pressure will be transient in nature. It's not going to get locked in over the northeast, but I do expect that to be there enough to give us a pretty good cold air damming episode on Sunday. And having said that, I think the favorite cold air damming areas, especially back toward the northern foothills, maybe the far northwest Piedmont, you're going to have to watch out for some ice potential as Sunday unfolds. Now, exactly how strong the cold air damming episode winds up being, that will determine the extent of any ice potential. But again, we're just kind of evaluating potential here at this point in time, and so I would, at this juncture, favor the northern foothills, but that is obviously subject to change. We're still a ways away. All right, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.